Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a monthly favorites? Not quite the word I was looking for. Today we're doing an end of the month favorites for the month of February. It is now March, getting into some springtime stuff. I'm very excited for spring. Give this video a thumbs up if you are as well, or let me know your favorite season below. I'd love to know. But let's just go ahead and get into my favorites. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you aren't already. When you subscribe and turn on your post notifications, YouTube will let you know when I post a new video, so you can be one of the first ones to watch it. And let's get started. I have lots of fun stuff. Actually, a lot of this is drugstore makeup. I've been really into drugstore makeup lately. I think as a category, I've kind of overlooked it in the past, but I found a lot of good gems from the drugstore and I'm just so excited about them. So let's start with this, which I've been wanting to talk about ever since I reviewed it. This is the Cosis Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. I reviewed this, I really enjoyed it. I continued using it almost every single day. I am obsessed with this. This is definitely my new favorite foundation. Out of all the new foundation launches, there's been a lot that I tested. The Charlotte Tilbury, the NARS one, those were nice, but not perfect for me. But I feel like this foundation it checks all my boxes. Watch my review if you haven't already. It's so good. It's a really good medium coverage. It is on the dewy side, but it sets down really, really well. If you have like combo oily skin like I do and you still want something moisturizing, but not like too much, I feel like this is so perfect. It's super comfortable on my skin. I love that it has SPF 25. And also the shade, this is the lightest shade, has a little bit of an olivey undertone, which I am fair olive. It's very hard to find fair olive shades. And this one is olive. When you first apply it, it does oxidize a tiny bit. I had this on today, but overall it's such a good MAC for me. Like, I just love everything about this. Really, really recommend this one. So worth the money. I will repurchase this when it's empty. Comes with a pump. I did just order the new e.l.f. Well, it's their serum foundation. They reformulated it and added new shades, one of which is a fair olive shade. I ordered that. Maybe I'll do a comparison of those two. If you want to see that, let me know below. But work of art, this one. Every time I use my laptop, Adobe, do you want to update me? No, don't need to. I literally only use this laptop for filming. Next, sticking with the base category, this is not a new product to me, but it's something that I've just been using lately and really enjoying. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is a really undupable product, I would say. It comes with a wand like doe foot applicator, which I really like. So this is the shade Fair, and it's basically just an illuminator, but it has a little bit of coverage to it, which I think is what makes it so unique. And it's not glittery, it just has the prettiest sheen to it. So I will either use this all over my face under my makeup or in targeted areas. Today I just did it under my eyes, and I like how this has a little bit of coverage because it helps to neutralize your base so you can use even less foundation. I actually wore this just out on a walk the other day all over my face just to add glow and a tiny bit of coverage, and it feels pretty lightweight and it's just a really gorgeous product. Another like high-end find that's definitely worth it, and it comes in several different shades. I don't know if they make a shade lighter than this. I hope that they do because this one's like a little bit dark for me. It's not necessarily a highlight, it kind of just blends with my skin, but love this one from Charlotte Tilbury. I want to give a mention to this Dermablend Primer. This is their Pore Saver Matte Makeup Primer. This is a very silicone-ish feeling. It's actually like, I don't know, if you've ever used a matte primer, it's like a pretty traditional matte primer feel. It's very, very thin, has a silicone feel to it, but also like, how do I describe this? Silky-ish type of texture. Anyway, the reason that I like this is it actually controls oil, especially with the Kosas foundation. I will just use this in my T-zone and it just wears really well with that foundation and helps to keep my oils at bay a little bit better. And I just really like the finish of it. It doesn't make my skin irritated. It's just a really great primer. I'm not a huge primer person, so for me to use a primer, I actually like if it does something. I don't really like a moisturizing primer or like a hydro grip primer or anything. I'm more of like a mattifying primer type of gal, and I just really like this one. The next product I had a change of heart about. This has been in my collection for a long time now. This is the Jouer, what is this called? I think it's just their high coverage concealer. This is the shade Lace, which is a really nice fair shade. This is a very thick full coverage concealer. If you don't like that type of look, pass on this, but for me, I really like that for the under eyes because I can end up using less product. And when I first tried this, it was a little bit too heavy for me and it ended up creasing, but I don't know what I did differently, but I retried it recently and now I've been using it every day because the coverage is flawless. Like one tiny dot of this and it covers all of my dark circles and it does not crease. It looks really smooth and I've just been really enjoying this product. I feel like this is a pretty popular product from Jouer. They also have a foundation in this line. I really enjoy this one. It is kind of similar to like Tarte Shape Tape and the e.l.f. I would say more of the hydrating concealer. It's not super matte. It's a good in-between that doesn't look drying. Also has some hyaluronic acid in there. Beautiful concealer. Another concealer I've been obsessed with. It's sort of on the opposite end of the spectrum to that concealer. This is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. If you do like a light, dewier skin-like finish, you would love this. I do need a different shade. This one is way too like pink undertone. It just looks super weird on me. But the formula is amazing. It's really thin and hydrating, but it has a really good amount of a coverage. It almost reminds me of the, I had a hair in my mouth. It almost reminds me of the e.l.f. concealer, which I also just repurchased just to see if I still like that. I remember I used to like that quite a while ago, but this one's super good. It's a drugstore price. It does not crease, surprisingly, for being like so dewy and hydrating. It's just a really good product. The pump, I'm not like a huge fan of. I would definitely prefer, oh my god, what is in my mouth? I would definitely prefer a doe foot applicator, but other than that, I really can't complain with this one. It's such a good concealer. I love NYX. NYX for base products at the drugstore is my go-to. Another drugstore find, I told you there's a lot of drugstore in this video. This is the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I got Fair 140W, which looks very yellow, but it actually works on me. Once it blends in, it's good. So I don't like this just as a foundation. I'm just not the type of person that could get a powder foundation to work for me. Just on my texture, it doesn't work. But I really love powder foundations for adding extra coverage or for touch-ups. And I think this is a great affordable option because it is a very long-wearing, non-cakey type of powder. It's very thin. You do get a sponge in here, but I feel like it looks really bad with the sponge. I would just go in with a brush. And I've just been reaching for this a lot for touch-ups, for added coverage. You could totally like throw this in your bag, and it's just a really good like all-around product. You could find a lot of use for this, and it's at an affordable price. Two setting powders I want to mention, and then we'll move on to the cheeks. The new Saie Beauty Airset powder is stunning. This is a luminizing powder, which you know I personally don't like for under my eyes. Almost all illuminating powders look bad on my face and my texture and my fine lines. This one is totally different. They just like knocked it out of the park with this formula. This is the shade Translucent. It looks a little dark. I don't find that this deepens my under eyes like the Rare Beauty powder did. It looks so glowy on your skin. If you like a more dewy finish and you use the Cosis foundation and set it with this, it would be so beautiful. It just makes your skin look radiant. I don't have this one on today, but I use it almost every single day. I will usually use this one all over my face, and then a more mattifying powder in the center of my face, and it's just chef's kiss. It's really good. The size of it I feel like is a little bit small. It's 4 grams, but I think it's so worth the money. I love this one. And then the other powder is just a little sample size, but I really love this formula. This is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder. I've heard a lot about this, and I got it as a sample off of Sephora, and it looked like it might have been a little bit deep for me, but it's so beautiful. It's one of those really thin mattifying powders, which are some of my favorites for under the eyes just because it really sets it down, makes it look super smooth, gives you a really poreless finish. I will probably purchase the full size when I finish this little one, but this like kind of surprised me. I'm just really loving this. And One Size also came out with a new Beauty Blur Balm. I'm really intrigued by that. Let me know if you want a review on that. I'm kind of on the fence of whether I should try it or not. Let me know below. All right, 2 bronzers. First is a stick bronzer, the Rare Beauty bronzer. This is the second lightest shade, Happy Soul, which is like described as a cool tone shade. It's not cool tone in my opinion. It is a warm bronzer. This is just so incredibly easy and workable. It's super creamy. It like glides onto the skin. You barely need any effort to blend this out, and it looks really natural, and it's the perfect finish. It's not too dewy or too matte, and it's just like so easy. Like if I were to make a makeup like starter kit video, I would probably put this in that video. If you like creams, if you like effortless products, try this one out if they have a shade that works for you. They do need to improve the shade range, but everything else I really enjoy about this. I'm not a huge fan of Rare Beauty myself. There's not a ton of their base products that I enjoy, but I think this was a hit from them. Next is a Drugstore bronzer. I haven't tried a ton of bronzers from the Drugstore besides the Flower Beauty Heatwave bronzer, which is one of my favorite bronzers. It's a baked formula. It's a little bit more luminous, but I wanted to find a good matte option, a matte drugstore option to share with you. And this is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in Sunlight, which is the lightest shade. I've seen this in a lot of like fair skin bronzer videos, and I just never picked it up until now. But like, man, were those videos right? This is a really beautiful bronzer. My one con, it does have fragrance in it. It actually smells like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but like maybe a little bit more toned down. It's just like a slight tropical scent, which I don't care too much in powder because it does dissipate, but I would prefer if it didn't have that in it. It's whatever. It's a really beautiful shade. I have this on today. I also have the Danessa Myricks cream contour on, the first shade that's like an olivey undertone, and this is pigmented. Like, I was not expecting it to be so pigmented, but right off the bat, it gives you really nice color. Like, just look at that tone. It's not too orange, especially on olive skin. Bronzers can pull very red or orange. This one does not do that at all. It's a really great undertone, affordable. If you see this at your local Target or drugstore or Ulta and you need a bronzer for fair skin, I would suggest this one because it's really good. Milani. Haven't tried Milani in forever. Next, I have a drugstore blush. This is the Flower Beauty Flowerpot Powder Blush in Sweet Pea. I love Flower Beauty. Almost everything I've tried from them, it's become a favorite of mine. And I saw this and I was like, why haven't I tried Flower Beauty blushes? Like, they look super pretty, and this shade especially just really drew me in. It's like this cooler toned type of like mauve pink. Like, it looks purpley, which I find really flattering on my skin tone. I have it on today. It looks really natural. The formula's very creamy. It is a matte finish, so there's no shimmer in it, and the formulas of these just feel so high-end, but like at a more affordable price. So I'm definitely interested in getting more shades of these. And another blush favorite, I've been super into bright blushes lately, and when Persona came out with their new blush shade Bubble, I was like, oh my god, like that looks so pretty. It looks kind of crazy in the pan, like it's this neon hot pink purple, but it's actually pretty sheer and very wearable. I did a video on my Instagram using this. I will link my Instagram below, but I have tried their blushes before and I already knew I liked the formula. This is a matte finish, and the shade is so fun and actually super flattering. Brings like a lot of life and just like brightness to the face. Love this one. 2 more blushes. I have a lot of blush favorites this month. I've just really been into blush. This is a new clean brand. This is called Play Beauty. They sent me a PR package, and this was one of the blush shades that I got. This is fully recyclable packaging, and you can pop this out. This is a little bit more of like a subdued pinky, but still like a matte finish. These are so pigmented. I feel like this is showing up very different on camera than it is on my hand. So it's a little bit brighter than this in person. This is like a corally pink, but it's not too warm where it looks unflattering on me. And I think the packaging is really nice. I like that it's recyclable. Really stunning formula. And I also have been trying out their eyeshadows. They have a bunch of new products. If you want a full dedicated review on this brand, also let me know. Last blush favorite is a high-end product. This is the iconic London Silk Glow Duo. I love these like gel baked embossed formulas. You get a blush and a highlight in here. Both of these are so good. You can mix them if you wanted the blush to be like even glowier, but the highlight is just right. It like is almost a little bit too dark for my skin, but it actually works pretty well. and the blush is stunning. Both of these formulas, they are shimmery, but it's very subtle shimmer, and so it's like subtle shimmer but also mixed with like a slightly bigger shimmer particle, so you get a really smooth finish on it, but then there's like these slightly bigger particles that catch the light really nicely. They do have, I think, 2 shades of this. This is the lighter one. Super, super pretty. Like, I haven't tried a ton from Iconic London either, but I'm really impressed by this, and I've been reaching for it a ton just to do like a quick cheek. Beautiful, and I think the packaging is stunning. My last favorite is this Colourpop palette. I would say my palette collection is actually the smallest part of my makeup collection. I just don't buy a lot of palettes because once I find one, I really stick to it, and I just use so many neutrals. But I really wanted a fun pastel palette in my collection because I didn't have any, and I've been able to create so many fun looks with this palette. Several of them are on my Instagram. This is just a rainbow palette. You also get some pressed glitters in here. I will say not every single shade in here is super pigmented, but they're very good quality for the price. I mean, you get all these primaries, you get more softer pastels. You can just create so much with this, and I like how it's set up that you can just go vertically and do a whole look just in the color story. I really love the yellow row. Like, all of these shades are super pigmented and pretty. Same with the green and the blue. I find this orange is not super pigmented, but I do have it on today. They're just really good freaking formulas. Like, Colourpop is so affordable, but they're honestly one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. They never disappoint. Get into it if you want a pastel palette. I really recommend this one. I actually got it for Christmas. Love it, and they are cruelty free. I think everything in this video is cruelty free. I might be wrong, but I think so. Okay, that was not my last favorite. I have 2 more products really quickly. The Danessa Myricks Mists. I think I mentioned these last month, but they need to be in the spotlight again. Setting mists that actually do things. These bad boys right here, the Set It Forever mist, literally makes my makeup last so long. It has oil controlling properties to it. Like, I don't know what they put in this, but it works. It keeps my oil at bay, and it also says it has temperature control. I don't know what that is, but it works. And then the dewy one is very dewy depending on what kind of like finish you want. This one makes me nice and dewy, but also extends the wear. And this Set It Forever mist, this one is like my all-time favorite. It's just so good. It sort of reminds me of the Urban Decay All Nighter Mist, which I haven't used in years and years and years. But yeah, amazing. I love Danessa Myricks. She actually just came out with new base products called Yummy Skin. Another little line I might have to try. Also, let me know if you want a video on that. I just love her brand, and these are top quality setting sprays that I really love. So that was all for my favorites video. There's a lot of just really fantastic products that I enjoyed this month. I've been buying more drugstore makeup, as I mentioned, and just trying a bunch of new things, switching up my routine. And these are just the cream of the crop. They're super good. I would love to know in the comments below a product that you've been loving this month, so then I can try as well. So let me know in the comments below. I will be chatting with you down there. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.